Hey, how you doing? Arthur Wu here, and today we're going to be doing some lighting breakdowns of my film, Civic Duty. So even though I'm primarily a cinematographer, I love the image creation process and love helping people work through that for their projects. There are a lot of times over the years where I've wanted to create stories of my own, as well as create spec projects. And I always felt like I had to wait for the right collaborator to come along. And over the years, as I've gotten more invested in storytelling as a cinematographer, I started studying lots of different types of films, and one thing led to another. I started going to some screenwriting groups, and then I started taking screenwriting classes. And lo and behold, I felt confident enough to be able to put a story together on paper and create a short film out of it. So let's get to the lighting breakdowns. We'll talk more about the film later. This frame right here is probably one of my favorites from the film. You have the two people dancing in the middle of the room here. And we're basically doing a cross key where you have one light on the right side, one light on the left side. And we used a combination of aperture 300s with the Fresnel mount, as well as the RE Fresnels. And they matched pretty well. So aperture, great job on the Fresnel mount there. The keys on both sides, you can see on the faces there, coming from each hard light on each side. And then it's also giving some backlight on each person there. And then we also have some light bulbs in those lamps in the back to kind of fill in the background. And we had these reflective windows, which I really loved. It added a little bit of depth. And so here again on the right side, we had a Fresnel pointing down at the actress here. And we have the light off screen on the left side. So in a particular part of the frame, we tried to get that Rembrandt triangle under the eye. And obviously when they're moving around, you're not always going to get that. But that's the thing you want to look for placement. And part of that is having really great actors, being able to hit the marks and being able to know where the light is. And so, the interesting thing from both directing and shooting this film is kind of just seeing like the range of freedom that directors really just need to give the actors in order for them to nail a performance. And so as a cinematographer, you try your best. And actors aren't mannequins for you to kind of like place and have the best lighting. They're going to be moving around. So the approach here was just to try our best, and whatever happened when they were moving, that happened. And so this frame here, I really like this one too. So this, again, the placement of the light, you can see here is coming down at like almost a 45-degree angle, not quite. But depending on where she was facing, again, the lighting, you try to place it as best as you can, but you're not always going to get that particular Rembrandt triangle. So she was moving around this frame a little bit. You can see the triangle showing up a little bit here, and then the backlight lighting her hair. In the back, we see the bookshelf lit up a little bit. That was just from the ambient light that was coming out of the room from the bouncing of the light that was happening. So we didn't really have to do a lot there, just because we had the hair light as well as the front light there. You notice on this one, a lot of classic Hollywood films use a filtration. And so the trick that we did here is I actually didn't use any filters at all, because I wanted a particular amount of control. And I had been using post-production tools since I do color to apply diffusion and things of that nature. And I really felt like I could pull it off in post, and I was able to get pretty close to that, to what I was thinking. The one disadvantage that you have when you're using filters such as like, Hollywood Black Magic or Black Pro Mist, any of those filters, which are all great, by the way, which I do use practically sometimes, is that sometimes, depending on the lighting scenario and the situation and the timing, it's a little bit, it kind of bleeds into places where you don't want it to bleed into. And so I think that's where controlling it in post really helped me with the timing, because I knew we were on a very compressed schedule. Just me wanting to have everyone in like a reasonable workday. And so I opted to use diffusion in post instead. This one right here, it was motivated by the lamp that's basically off screen here. And again, 45-degree angle down, making sure the shadows hit the right spot. And here we're going to change up the lighting style with this color image. We're in a different era now. So essentially, we're not in the hard light realm anymore. My go-to setup for this is double diffusion, essentially. So I believe we had a Hudson Spider with the softbox attachment. And then we also put that through a 4x, I think it was Magic Cloth. And you can see here, it gives a very nice, soft look on the skin, but we're still able to get some deep shadows there. Here in the background, we have a little bit of interest with we placed the lamp strategically there, as well as a red light. And that was part of the production design to kind of match with the chairs and the design of the room. In the back here, you see those nice golden panels, which were part of the room itself, and that kind of adds, again, some more interest in the back. And you can see here the tiny little speck on his head, and that's lit off screen with an Astera light. and it was more of like a fluorescent color, just to kind of give a little bit of room there for just, again, some more visual interest so that it's not completely falling off into darkness. Even though I don't mind that look, I just wanted it to have a little bit of etching out of the shadows there. So that's the lighting breakdown, guys. And I just want to say that it was so fun creating this film. And if you have an idea in your head and you want to get it on paper, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. Whether it's like YouTube or online courses, there's just so many avenues to learn what you need to learn in order to kind of move forward with it and feel like you're taking steps and making progress. All right, guys, hope that was helpful. Any questions, post them below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. All right, guys, peace.